There is always something eerie about an empty street. Whether it's the fear that you may be the next victim of whatever lurks in the darkness, or a flickering light that just kinda exists, you won't catch me walking down any creepy streets. What if that creepy street could never truly be empty, when no man has stepped foot in it for days, weeks, months, or even years? As is the case of many open world video games that have been brushed aside in lieu of newer, better games. Many games exist in this limbo of having only 100 players booting it up in a month, as they have become outdated, but they still have amazing worlds that people have just forgotten about. So today, I ask you, my loyal subscriber, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you can become my loyal subscriber, to join me as we venture into the Forgotten Worlds. I love open world games, so much so that the Christmas of 2015, I got one of my favorite open world games ever, Fallout 4, and one of the ones that I kind of forgot about myself, Assassin's Creed Syndicate. You may be wondering, why of all the Assassin's Creed games, why I would choose this? Well, I could have easily looked at Unity, but I chose Syndicate because the world built for London and the world built for Paris just do not compare. Syndicate's 1860s London is full of life, but in the end, instead of players walking the streets, it's mostly lines of code. So let's begin. A game released almost 5 years ago, Assassin's Creed Syndicate was the final Assassin's Creed game to follow the series' iconic formula, with Origins following a less limited array of gameplay styles. But that doesn't mean Syndicate is bad. It's much better than Unity. In Syndicate, we play as Jacob and Evie Frye, two sibling assassins who are ready to take on the underbelly of Victorian London. Ubisoft gave the project of Assassin's Creed Syndicate to Ubisoft Montreal, as they created the fantastic Assassin's Creed Rogue. I found a great article on Gizmodo, and you can go down to the description and click the link if you want to read it. But to summarize it, the team started by heading to London and walking the streets of some of the more historic areas. One quote I liked was about the Thames River. Creative director Marc-Alexis Cote said, "To really understand the Thames, you need to stand on a bridge and look at both shores. You can close your eyes and picture it with thousands of boats. Look at the Thames in 2020. It's pretty empty compared to how the Thames looked in the Victorian age. Here is the Thames in Assassin's Creed Syndicate." It beautifully realizes the saying of Cote and the art I showed earlier. I also liked how Cote talked about the goal of traveling to modern London with the team. They wanted to capture the essence of the city. You can tell they worked hard to recreate an essence of life in the 1860s London. It really feels alive. Yet, the game is pretty much dead in 2020. It's very simple. Ubisoft oversaturated the Assassin's Creed series, and thus, Syndicate was doomed from the start. The game still did pretty well, selling about 5.5 million copies, but when GameStop will only pay a single penny for your copy, they're just being GameStop. But that most likely means a lot of people traded in this game in lieu of Origins or Odyssey when they came out. Microtransactions were also very prevalent in the game, with the game theoretically being pay to win as you can buy upgrades, in-game money, and in-game items, all with a virtual currency of Helix points. How can a world so carefully crafted to be a bustling city turn into a video game ghost town in just a few years? Maybe Ubisoft is to blame. Maybe the gaming market shifted towards RPG-based open world games. But whatever the case is, Syndicate was quickly forgotten. A world bustling with places to see, people to meet, and enemies to kill. Syndicate was perhaps treated too harshly, and time will tell if it continues to be a forgotten world in the catalog of open world games. Okay, This series is a little darker than I intended, so you can subscribe now.